guys, it's B. Welcome back to Unify. It's so good to be back. I hope you guys have been well. I'm here with another month ahead reading for you guys. I know we're a few days in, but I still wanted to go ahead and do this for you guys. I really enjoy doing these collective readings. If you didn't see the last one, I am doing month ahead readings now instead of week ahead. That way we can get a full forecast for the next few weeks in the one reading. So this spread will be similar but a little bit different than the last ones if it's been a while since you watched one of my videos. So we will break down the month in 2 weeks. Since we're in the 5th, we do have just under 4 weeks left in the month here since there are 31 days. So I'm going to do 4 smaller spreads, starting with my Rider-Waite-Smith deck here. We're going to get the overall energy. We'll add on to that with the Threads of Fate and Purian deck here. We will get some guidance as far as, the best way to navigate through these energies, support, communication, all of that with our Angel Oracle deck here. And then we'll close out the reading and get a couple final cards from the Seed and Sickle deck. With the Seed and Sickle, I am using the Dawn book. It just seems fitting. We're about to enter spring. It's March. Weather's warming up. Aries season. I'm an Aries myself, so I'm feeling very energized, excited, as most of us are, when the weather warms up. But, I definitely am feeling very, very much more in tune and centered myself. So yeah, I'm really excited. Like I said, I won't keep you guys in this intro too long, so I'm just going to get into it. I did already clear and shuffle all of my decks. So let's see here. I am going to shuffle one more time just so I can feel the cards here. Let's get a couple cards for each week. I'm going to stop there. Yeah, I kind of felt another one. Maybe I should pull that one out too. It wants to be here. So let's just see what happens with that. And let's see. I think it wants to go in week 3. So let's get into it, guys. Let's see what we've got going on for March. So to start, we have the 6 of Swords and the King of Cups. Ooh. And then we're moving into the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. Okay. Let's maybe just scoot these over now that I've pointed them out. Give us a little bit more room to work with here. Week 3. Very interesting, guys. It looks like we are definitely closing out some painful cycles here this month, which makes sense. We're moving into that spring energy. We're moving into the, the real new year, energetically speaking, as far as the spring solstice. That's the beginning of, things waking up, new growth happening. Just scooting these guys around so we can see everything. We even have the Devil making an appearance here, but with the Ace of Swords, so I ain't scared. I feel like this is us, letting go of these last few things that may be lingering from previous cycles that need to be cut out. That's the immediate feeling seeing these cards, especially since we have the 10 of Swords here. That's a card of just 10s in general. That's the end of a cycle, closing of a chapter, that kind of thing. And so I feel like we're just doing a lot of work to let go. And then we have the World at the end here. So yeah, with the Page of Cups, yeah, it's all gonna be good. Don't be scared, guys. So let's see here. Last time I did this reading, I went through the cards, and then I added on the next set and so on. And I don't know. I didn't mind it, but I feel like I could do it better this time as far as you know, the flow of things. So I am going to like week by week draw, you know, from each deck and then go through it that way. That way, I can add timestamps. I was going to add timestamps to the last one, but I would have had to add like 16 to go back and forth. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. So this time I will go ahead and get all the cards for each section. Let's see, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And I'm gonna just keep it short and simple like that. I'm not gonna get too many cards. We'll just channel the rest of what needs to come out. But yeah, I'm gonna do it that way. There might be a little jump around here as I connect, you know, the cards to one another and get the full picture. But otherwise, we will go week by week. And then the closing will be the closing with Seed and Sickle. All right, last one here, Angel Oracle. Let's see what we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and get our closing cards too. Just to, you know, not have to keep going back and forth with anything. I feel, ooh, okay. I was gonna say I feel these lower 2. I feel the lower 3. And, oh man, okay. I feel 4, so. I don't know why I'm disappointed in that. Hopefully they all, you know, align and, oh wait, 4. Interesting. Okay. I wasn't even like paying attention to the fact that this is 4 spreads, but it looks like we have one for each week. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So let's see. Week 1, we have the 6 of Swords, the King of Cups. We have Listen to Your Intuition and Mundane. I'm going to overlap them a little bit here. And then I'm actually going to keep these cards like, you know, like that. Then we have Unlikely. I love that card came out here where we see all of this difficulty and hardship, mental stress. And then we also have, what is this? Hearth. Okay, interesting. Hearth. I think I might want to look that one up, but we'll see what we get intuitively. I am picking up a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like the book might have a deeper message for us. Then we have Not the Right Time and Amend. I love that Not the Right Time card with the Hanged Man, definitely indicating there's a need to pause and look at something from a different perspective. And I think that's great with the Devil card, maybe feeling a little trapped, particularly after week 2 here. And, you know, week 3 will be that new beginning after closing this cycle. I love how that's going with the 10 and then the Ace. It's like that cycle is closing. You're getting to start over with fresh eyes. Ooh, Opportunity Unfurled, the World, Page of Cups. That's dope. I just glanced at that. I don't know what it means though. I don't know what the hell these Seed and Sickle cards mean. They're all plants. Just like flip through the book in case this is like your first time here. So like chickweed, this kind of thing. You know, I don't know a lot about plants, which is part of why I bought this deck. I thought it would be a fun way to learn more about plants and their spiritual meanings and properties. So yeah, even though I took a glance at that, I can't tell you diddly about it. Anyway, let's get into week 1 here. The 10 of Swords, or excuse me, the 6 of Swords, King of Cups, Listen to Your Intuition, and Mundane. I think this is interesting. This is kind of giving the energy of moving on from things that really don't need your attention right now. I feel like there may be a sense in week 1, which, you know, we're about to close out, but of really closing out things that just no longer serve you. With the Six of Swords, it's a card of moving forward from, a painful cycle, maybe some, manipulation. With the Five of Swords energy, setting yourself free from a situation that's just not healthy, where you're not really gaining a lot from it. You could be the one manipulating yourself to stay in something that's not healthy, or to continue to accept less for yourself. You're trapped by limited beliefs. And then with the Six of Swords, you decide to finally pick up your things and move on into a calmer situation where you have more mental clarity. You're able to, really set forth and plan for your future, and take on the things that you are wanting to do. I will say too, because Seven of Swords is right after that, in a logical way, not in a way where we're taking shortcuts, or, selling ourselves short, or, just really, I would say, moving through the situation in a balanced way, because it is a six, making sure that you're balancing your time and your energy and your efforts, giving to the right people, places, and things. And in that realization, having a healthier life overall, being able to do more overall. We also have the King of Cups, and there is that water, and of course the King of Cups, but also in the Six of Swords, representing our emotions and our intuition. And so just, again, when we're moving out of these situations where there is a lot of turmoil, there's a lot of unhealthy beliefs or practices, or, communication with ourselves, with others, that kind of thing. In that, when we find that clarity, when we choose to finally move on to something that is healthier for us, we get into this state of this King of Cups, where we're able to really balance our emotions, because we don't have so much that we're hanging on to. You reclaim your power with the swords, as well as when you become the king. This is somebody who's gone through all of the cycles of their suit. They've mastered their suit. They're able to take action on it now. They're able to take decisive and informed action on their emotions, on their intuition, and create, abundance for themselves, for their stability for themselves, call it more opportunity. I think it's interesting. We have this fish here on the King of Cups and the fish here on the Page of Cups that's closing out this month for us. So there's a lot of potential for opportunity here, potential for really stepping into your personal power with all these swords coming out, finding your voice, your real voice, expressing yourself in healthy and conscious ways, really being able to look forward. Like I mentioned here with the Six of Swords, that's a card of moving on. And when you do move on and you step out of the situation where you may be cheating yourself, or you may be, being manipulated to do something that you really don't resonate with, again, this could be internal or external manipulation, you are able to, forge a clearer path forward. Six is a number of balance. Seven is a number of patience and persistence, and higher learning, especially spiritual awakening. And so I feel like this is like, with the King of Cups and the way that he's looking forward, out into the future, you're really able to envision bigger and better things for yourself, things that feel true to you, things that honor who you are, your emotions, things that honor your calling and the messages that you may be getting as far as what you need to invest your time and energy into. And so I feel like going into this month, it's very transformative. We even have this card, listen to your intuition, speaking on that, as far as cups and water representing your intuition. So we're definitely getting the calling this week in the beginning of the month to really trust those intuitive nudges, to really trust, what your heart is telling you. Release the mundane. There's a lot of opportunity here. Oh, we talked about setting yourself free. This card has all these eagles here. Eagles represent freedom and power and taking charge. We also have this hand that has, this is the moon in it as well. So again, I feel like this is really tapping into your intuition. The moon does represent intuitive energy, feminine energy. This is allowing energy, just allowing yourself to be free, allowing yourself to receive the things that you deserve. And not getting in your own way here, not getting caught up in the mundane, things that don't really matter, things that aren't really going to serve you at the end of the day here. So yeah, week one is really, I feel, again, we have some closing here in week 2, but I feel like week 1 is just the start of us finally taking the steps that are necessary in order for us to move forward out of situations that just aren't working anymore, that aren't healthy. Again, really setting yourself free from whatever mental prison that you've been in. If there's things that have been kind of lingering, karmic cycles that have been repeating, stuck emotions, stuck thoughts, stuck pain, anything like that, I feel like we're going into the month releasing these things, or at least, finally acknowledging these things so that we can begin to release them, which I think is more, in week 2 here with this 3 of Swords and 10 of Swords. We'll get further into that in a minute here. But yeah, this is definitely giving, we're setting ourselves free this week, beginning, at the beginning of this month. The feeling is too, I don't know why I'm being drawn to the, I don't know what to call him, the person who is driving the boat here in the 6 of Swords. To me, that's also like really representing like letting go of control. Like if you feel like you have to control certain things in order to feel safe, I feel like this is really saying to let go. Because of this, in this card, you're not the one steering the boat. It's almost like you have to let go and let faith do what it does. You have to learn to trust yourself. You have to learn to trust the process. And in that, that's also, setting yourself free, releasing, the chains on you. We have the Devil here. It's like breaking out of your, your mental cage, your mental prison here. And surrendering, you don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to figure everything out right now. You just have to start taking steps in the right direction in order to heal, in order to grow, and in order to step into the life that you would really like to be living. And so I feel like that needed to be said there, just as far as that person goes on the card. Again, just like allowing the universe to support you, allowing others to help and support you as well with that card. Like, we do have the King of Cups, and then that energy does give off a masculine vibe. And so, like, if there is a masculine in your life, and this is not to, to say, like, let your man do it or anything like that, or, promote any sort of like, specific gender roles. I do believe in masculine and feminine energy and us having to embody those in order to be the best versions of ourselves. However, we all have masculine and feminine inside of us. And, to me, masculine is just the doing and feminine is the receiving, which we all do at one point or another. In different ways. And so with that said, though, I do feel like releasing and allowing somebody else to take control. Again, we're just letting the universe to take control and to decide for you, to take action for you. Obviously, you do have to take some action. We don't have any wands here, which is interesting. It's all swords and cups. Very interesting. I'm just saying that. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely a month of allowing. I'm sure we will be taking action, obviously. Like, you have to take some action on things in order to move through life and sustain yourself. But this is really giving the element of just releasing and trusting, like releasing control, negative thoughts, all that, trusting. And so with that, let us see what this closing card is. We have birch. And it almost looks like too in this card that these trees are wrapped around a moon. And then we have this red ribbon. Oh, this is card number 1. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever pulled this card for 1. But that's kind of cool because 1s represent the beginning of a new cycle. And so I feel like you are stepping into something new in this release as well. Something unexpected with this moon here as well. The moon does represent like hidden things, our subconscious mind, that kind of stuff. So I think this is like a new bright beginning, something that's unexpected. I feel like the unexpected element of this is because, a lot of us have been in a state of feeling like we have to control everything, especially over the past few years, and, so many things being out of our control and so many things happening around us. There's so much external stimuli and expectations to live up to. And so a lot of us are kind of grasping at, anything that we can in order to feel like we have some sense of control over our lives and our outcomes. But I think that's why this is going to be like new and unexpected. It's almost going to be like you're going to begin thriving in that letting go. And, you're probably not expecting that, because so many of us expect to thrive when we plan out every little step meticulously, and, we try to foresee what's going to happen. Even in something like this with tarot, there is this air of needing to be in control of a situation and doing this kind of work, or, getting readings or that kind of thing. You want to know what's going to happen so you can navigate it in the best possible way. But yeah, this is kind of giving that energy with that moon in the background. Even the white of the birch trees, white is a symbol of purification, pure intentions, newness. And so I really feel like there is this element of purifying your consciousness, purifying your intentions, purifying your expectations as well, like letting some of them go. That's the kind of feeling here. But let's see what the book says. Birch. In Irish communities, the traditional winter Yule log is cut from the birch tree. A broom of birch twigs is used to brush out the dust of the old year and bring in the new. And household fires are doused and then relit from the central Yule fire to bring the community together. You are facing a new beginning, but do not embark upon this future alone. You will have a stronger start if you rely on friends, family, or colleagues to support you through your first steps. Do not fear removing what is past its use. I love that. That encompasses everything we already talked about here. Letting go of things that are just no longer serving you, moving forward, releasing control, allowing somebody else to help you. We talked about, the masculine, letting somebody else step in and help you do the work to move you along. And just, again, releasing control, because there is something new happening here. There's this rebirth here in that release. And so let's get into week 2. We have the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. Definitely some sort of painful ending here. Or I won't say a painful ending necessarily. A painful cycle is ending. So this doesn't have to be a painful ending, but something that has brought pain is ending for sure. And again, we have this white here, the white clouds around the 3 of Swords. I feel like in whatever this is, and letting this cycle close and letting go of these stuck emotions, you might have been stuck on, I don't know, a relationship, or goals you had that you failed to meet, or, you just kind of gave up on, and you're sitting there feeling like, woe is me, I'm a failure, and you're just depressed and you're stressed and you're stuck and you're pinned in the same space because you just are so focused on all the shit that you wanted to do and didn't, or all the things that didn't work out, or all the people that rejected you, or whatever it is. But it's all an illusion. And I feel like in allowing yourself to process these emotions, not only are you going to close the cycle with the 10 of Swords, but you're going to find mental clarity here with these white clouds. Even though it's raining, the clouds are white. And that is very symbolic. Normally, if it's raining, the sky is gray, the clouds are gray because they're full of water. But these clouds are white, representing in that release, you are finally finding room for your own thoughts and feelings. You're no longer hanging on to a bunch of things that are, again, not serving you. You're finally finding clarity so that you can move forward, so that you can learn to love yourself, so that you can heal, so that you can release, I think, permanently, because we have the Ace of Swords here. So again, we're moving through this cycle in a really healthy way, knowing we're supported. And I feel like this is going to come naturally as well. We're in this series, again, we don't have any wands here, not even like, in any of the other cards. Like if we had the Magician or something like that, there would be a wand, but there's no wands on this table. So again, this is just letting go of beliefs, this month. It's not to say again that you won't be taking action. Of course you will, but the overall energy of this month is to allow yourself to be reborn. And I love it too because the spring solstice is what, on the 21st or the 20th? Something like that. It's in the middle of the month. And so I'm just looking at my calendar here, guys. That would be here in week 3 where we have this Ace of Swords. And the Hanged Man and the Devil and all these other beautiful cards. And then, you know, as we enter spring, officially, we get the world and opportunity and all this beauty over here. And so it's like, you know, again, we're closing out these last little lingering energetic ties and cycles and all of that so that we can really step into what's meant for us to experience and to embody and to give to other people. I feel like too, let's get into these cards here. We have Hearth and we have Unlikely. So, okay, she's kind of holding a wand. She. Let's, you know, respect the tubes of YouTubes. Okay. So yeah, she's kind of holding a wand. But again, because there's so many swords, I don't feel like this is really taking action here. This is more like, allowing things to unfold as they do. Like if you cast a spell, I don't do that, not a witch. But if you, let's say this is like Harry Potter and you cast a spell, you're not gonna like cast a spell and then go run off and start like trying to like physically do what the spell is supposed to do. Like if you're casting a spell to start a fire, you're not gonna cast it and then go start collecting sticks and flint and, you know, like trying to start a fire yourself. You're just gonna trust that the spell that you cast, or the intention that you set, in other words, is going to work out for you. And I feel like that is what this is saying. Like, what is a hearth again? I think, is it like a mantle? Let me see here. Let me do that for the YouTubes. Oh wow, I have the devil card showing junk too. Hopefully my video doesn't get flagged, but you know, it is what it is. That's why my videos are 18 and up. Okay, it's not a mantle, it's the area in front of a fireplace. Okay, I know it had to do with a fireplace. But Google also says it's used as a symbol of one's home, so that's interesting. And then we also have Unlikely. So let me just kind of meditate on this for a second and see what that's kind of meaning with this being a symbol of home. And then we also have the moon here. I feel like this is really coming back home to yourself with this hearth card and the moon. Again, moon representing feminine energy, allowing, flow state, trusting your intuition, the unconscious mind, subconscious mind, that kind of thing. So I feel like this is like you coming back home to yourself in these realizations, in this allowing state. You're having a lot of epiphanies, I'll say, about yourself, about your life, about things that you probably gave more importance than they deserve to have in your energy. You probably put a lot of weight on yourself. Well, I'm this, or I failed at that, and blah, 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 like I mentioned earlier. And, you know, you've made that your identity versus really honoring all of the good things about you and, you know, all the things that you've overcome. And so I feel like this is you really grounding and coming home to yourself in this release and letting these cycles close and releasing this pain. You're finding that mental clarity. You're finding that, I would say, you're coming back to the truth of who you are. You're learning to forgive yourself. We also have this Unlikely card with all this beautiful violet here. The most violet is associated with our crown chakra, our intuition, our connection to the divine. We also have this, her heart is glowing and there's a moon in the background behind her as well. So again, there's lots of symbolism around the moon and the unconscious and things that we are, you know, we've been ignoring or trying to, I'll say too, with like, you know, this release and letting go, like we've been trying to make something better by just doing the most. Like, when you're trying to avoid trauma, or like if you attach your value to how much that you're able to do in a day, you never really have the time to process your emotions, or, your life, or make really necessary changes in who you are versus what you do. And so I feel like that is something that's changing here in week 2. We're really, closing out this cycle of who we have identified ourselves as, closing out this cycle of pain and feeling a failure and like, oh my God, I shouldn't have trusted this person. How could I be so dumb? Da 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 da. All the toxic things that we tell ourselves to keep us trapped in a cycle and to keep ourselves small. I feel like we're closing that out here in week 2. I feel like too, if you're worried about this going wrong, or you're worried about, anything around this situation, whatever you're worried about is unlikely. I feel like, again, this is just healing. Even she's rising out of the water. We have so much imagery and symbolism of water and intuition. Even in the 10 of Swords, there's water. The 3 of Swords, it's raining. There's moons all over the heckin' place. We have King of Cups. The 6 of Swords has water. We have water over here in the Page of Cups. It's just all over the place in these first couple weeks. So opening up March, we're definitely processing some emotions that needed some attention. Yeah, things need to close. You're not able to heal unless you give things the time and attention that they need. It's just not going to happen. You can do whatever you want to do all day and night. Say you're doing the work, or say you've moved on because look at how successful I am now. That's not real. It's an illusion. You have to take the time and spend the energy on processing the things that you've gone through and experienced and told yourself, so that you can release yourself from these voluntary chains that are in the Devil card. And so week 2, we are doing that. You're learning to really trust yourself again. You're letting this close. Anything that has not been processed up until this point, you are processing it and you're letting that shit go. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have Moonwort. What even is that? It's kind of a pretty card, though. Let's see what that is. I have no idea. There's a key there, though, so that's interesting. Again, we talked about this new beginning over here with the Birch card and, having this epiphany that, wow, if I let go of control, I'm actually so much more powerful. I feel like you're really unlocking some doors within yourself with this Moonwort card. And even Moon, guys, there's so much intuitive energy here. Can't escape it if you tried. So let's see, Moonwort. A commonly cited magical property of the Moonwort fern is the power to pierce iron. There is said to be a hill in Devon in the UK so covered in moonwort that 30 freshly shod horses belonging to the Earl of Essex once lost their horseshoes whilst being ridden across it. Like moonwort, you can find inside of you the power to conquer any hurdle that stands in your way. You may feel small and easily trampled, but every barrier that stops you from moving forward has its weak point. Embrace your own inner strength and find it. I love it. I love closing with the Seed and Sickle cards. I love how they all come full circle and just kind of validate and reiterate the messages that come through the other cards. Again, get into this state of allowing. Know that nothing can stop you but yourself. If you keep yourself in this cycle, if you refuse to acknowledge the things that you've experienced, acknowledge your pain, forgive yourself. I recommend doing a forgiveness meditation where you go through and you send loving kindness to your enemies. You send loving kindness to past versions of yourself. You forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made and the things that you did not know at the time that you experienced certain things. I think that that's really beautiful. I think it's really helpful. I think it's really necessary for all of us to do at one point or another, because we all go through life and experience shitty shit and, end up feeling bad or feeling like, a failure at one point or another, because, again, we have so many expectations to live up to that are placed onto us by society, our family, and eventually ourselves when we're told things enough. And so again, set yourself free. We have this key, unlock your mental prison. These first couple weeks, that's the focus here. The first half of March is unlocking, your cage, setting yourself free. For sure. I love this. I'm excited. Okay, let's get into week 3. We have the Ace of Swords, the Devil, the Hanged Man. So starting with the Devil, okay, we're also moving into major arcana cards here, the last half of the month. So in closing these mental cycles, you're having this major karmic shift where you're moving up. We're closing shit out permanently here at the world. And I love that that is coming out at the end of the month here. It's so exciting. Okay, but anyway, the Devil represents illusion and attachment to material things, illusion and attachment to, things that bring us pleasure. But again, it is avoidance. It's usually because we've been avoiding things that we have attachments that we find ourselves, having addictions. To places and things. It's all to make us feel better, to comfort us, so that we don't really have to face a necessary truth, something that needs to be faced, something that needs to be processed. But it is voluntary. You can see the chains around the necks of the people here, and the Devil are so big they can just take them off and walk away. But it's like, I would rather be chained here and miserable. It's almost like, it's a familiar misery. So you'd rather stay there than like step out of your comfort zone and process your emotions and work through the things that need your attention. That's that energy of the Devil card. You also have masculine and feminine here. This is the only card that we have here that has, just kidding. The Six of Swords has multiple people on it. But either way, going back to that masculine and feminine, we talked about that earlier. The feminine is that receiving and the masculine is that doing. And so I feel like there's a definite need to balance this energy here where you need to process the things that you're receiving and take action on them. I know I said we don't have any wands, but this is giving me the feeling of taking action on the things that you need to process. That's it. That's the action there. But then we have the Hanged Man in that same breath. And so this is a card of rest and not recovery. I mean, there is some recovery here though after this, but it's more so a card of rest and looking at things from a new perspective. Finding new and different ways to process your emotions. I will say healthier ways with it being next to the Devil. Like what's a better way for you to process the things that you're feeling and going through? Is it sitting down and having 6 beers, or is it going and reading a book about it, or talking to a therapist, or going on a walk and getting some fresh air? It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be crazy. It can be very, very simple. You could journal about it. You could paint a picture. If you're not good at painting or drawing or whatever, it can be abstract. You can just the point is to just get the emotions and thoughts and feelings out in the healthiest way possible. So I think that's what the Hanged Man is saying here, because we have this Ace of Swords again. This is a new beginning, where you're thinking in new ways, you're communicating in new ways, your focus is shifting to more positive things, versus over here where we're so focused on all our failures. Now we're focused on okay, wow, actually I am worth loving, I am worth forgiveness. What can I do with that? Who can I be, knowing that, I'm worthy of love and that I'm just a human having a human experience and nobody's perfect. It's that kind of energy here. Even with the mountains and cards, we have a little mountains here, we have a little mountains here. Mountains and cards represent, a challenge, unforeseen, events, knowing that there are challenges to come. There will still be some uphill battles to face, but you have the power to face those with the Ace of Swords. And they're very in the distance in this card. I also think kind of with the symbolism, as far as the size of them goes, it's not only that they're far away, but I feel like they're going to be easy to overcome with them being that small. So there's no need to stress out this. I think the main focus here is just finding new ways to process your emotions, new ways to heal yourself, new ways to go through life daily without any sort of attachments to people, places, or things that help you to ignore your situation or to feel better temporarily. We're really looking at creating long-term happiness, long-term peace, long-term stability with these cards here. And so there's a lot of assessment around that, how can I live my life differently with the Hanged Man? How can I live my life more in line with who I'm meant to be? His legs are also in the shape of a number 4. That is stability, that's long-term, that's foundational energy, that's celebratory energy, that kind of thing. So it's how can I create a long-term stability for myself with the Hanged Man card coming out there? We also have Not the Right Time And amend. I feel like this amend card is almost like making amends with yourself, breaking out of this cycle too. Is this Ouroboros? I get it mixed up. Let me look it up. I said it in one video before, and I've forgotten. Okay, yes, it's an Ouroboros, the snake that's eating itself. So this is, again, you keeping yourself stuck in these negative cycles because it feels safe, because it feels comfortable, and it helps you to not have to do the real work at the end of the day. But really, you're just creating more work for yourself the more that you put these things off. And so I don't recommend it, but it is what it is. Like I said, we're all human, nobody's perfect, and all of us, including myself, get stuck in cycles. But I feel like this is making amends with yourself. I feel like this is releasing yourself. We have one Ouroboros who is, in the shape of an infinity. And so this is like a cycle that's been looping for a really long time. But then we have another one that's kind of like see-through here. Let me move my screen so I can see what I'm showing you guys. It's kind of see-through, so it's almost like giving me the energy that not only are we breaking one cycle and moving into another, but like this cycle, I don't know, they're both giving a little bit of dominance. I'm like, I don't know which one we're moving out of and into, but maybe a little bit of both. But the one that's kind of transparent here, I feel like the one that's kind of closing, or it has more purity to it. I feel like, this cycle, because this one is a little bit shorter, it is maybe the old cycle here. That repeated, and we're moving on to more like infinite possibilities. I'm just looking at the Google search of the Ouroboros as well, and it says it's a symbol that represents the eternal cycle of destruction and rebirth. And then we have, hold on guys, I'm just looking at, so Ouroboros is the circular one. I'm just trying to see if the infinity one is different, because this is saying usually Ouroboros. Okay, never mind. I read it wrong. But yeah, the never-ending cycle of death and rebirth. And that's exactly what this is. We're closing out a cycle, and we're finally learning to be a new version of ourselves, and we're really ingraining new lessons. Finally integrating the lessons that we've had to learn. We're finally able to enter a new cycle, and we have the world coming up here too. So again, I feel like this is making amends with yourself, making amends with other people, and finally allowing yourself to move on into something new. And again, this is kind of like similar energy here, which makes sense. Nothing happens. I mean, things happen overnight, sure, but like it happens overnight after a lot of time and effort and energy has gone into it. Nothing just happens overnight like that. Okay, nothing is very definitive, but I think you know what I mean. But oftentimes when we do see things and it's just like, oh my gosh, they're an overnight success, or like things change overnight. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, like things happen to finally change, like officially today, but I've been working on this for months. And so that makes sense here. It's not easy to move on from things. Even though, we are finally doing that, again, like, a lot of us get stuck in cycles for years or a whole life, and so this is, a long time coming, but you're finally entering a new cycle. I would say like we're again with these two different ones, where one's white and kind of transparent and one's black and very opaque. It's like I said, I can't really, like, the feeling is that everyone has specific dominance over the other. They're very, like, there's kind of an equal exchange of energy here, but it makes sense too, because energy cannot be created or just transferred. And so it's like you're transferring all this energy that you have from this cycle that we were in, disappointment and feeling, lack, or like we're not enough, and into this new life, this new version of ourselves, this rebirth. Tapping into more potential with that, with this infinity of the second one that's here, the black one. Not the right time. What's the feeling of you? Not the right time. She's standing on top of the world with her arms open. Almost like her posture, she's keeping something at bay. Her hands like up, facing outward, like that's just like, I don't know, like stay back kind of energy. I think interesting. Is it the symbol of Metatron's keep here at the background too? There's like very faint sacred geometry behind her. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's almost giving. Okay, it's almost giving to like. There's so much repetitiveness of like action, well, not taking action. I feel like that is what this card is saying right now. Now is not the right time to start something like big. We're definitely entering a new mental cycle. We're shifting our beliefs and our perspective here with the Ace of Swords and the Hangman, but right now is not the time to just like immediately jump into a new business venture, jump into this huge commitment, or jump into anything and be like, oh, I'm brand new, I'm ready for it now. Like, allow yourself the time to integrate and to become who, you know, this new version of you is going to be, and, you know, to start to like really embody that and like to really ground in that energy. I feel like if you don't allow yourself the time, you might risk falling back into old habits and old patterns. You know, you might get to a point where if you do jump into something too quickly, something big too quickly, and you find yourself uncomfortable or overwhelmed, that's going to, you know, trigger you, and it's going to be really easy to fall back into whatever this situation is here with the devil, you know, old relationships and habits and whatnot that aren't healthy for you. And so I feel like that's what that not the right time card is. I feel like you really need to be patient with yourself with the Hangman here. Again, allow yourself to ground in this new energy, allow yourself the time that it takes to really become this new version of yourself. And in that you will be more successful, and this cycle will finally close permanently with the World card coming up here. But if not, like if you jump back into something thinking like, you know, again, I said nothing happens overnight, thinking like, oh, I had one great day of not smoking, not drinking, not talking to like dude guy or whatever it is, and then you jump into something new, and then it doesn't go the way that you planned, and you didn't allow yourself the time to really like integrate this energy, like you're just going to end up falling back into the cycle, taking 2 steps backwards. So I think that's what she's saying with not the right time. Even with this green around, green is a color of healing in the heart chakra. Archangel Raphael, that kind of thing, physical, mental, emotional healing. And so again, allowing yourself the time and space that you need in order to heal entirely before taking on anything huge. To close this out, we have Clematis. Let's see what that is. Angel number 22 here as well. So we have decision-making, partnerships, that kind of thing. Clematis. The clematis grows across any surface it is given, eager to rise and reach toward the blazing summer sun. Its spiraling vines grab at any opportunity that appears, putting its flowers in the best position to drink in the rain and warmth. This card symbolizes movement and momentum, a push toward the best position that will help you achieve your goal. Just be sure to remember those who held you up on your race to the finish. Interesting. So this one talks about movement. Let me read this one more time and just like see what it's giving, like pertaining to this. The spiraling vines grab on any opportunity that appears. Okay, this kind of is giving me what I just said. It says it's spiraling vines grab onto any opportunity that appears. This is definitely like giving the not the right time energy. Don't dive into anything new week 3. Allow yourself time. Just be patient. Again, we're talking about a lot of feminine energy here with all these moons and all this water. We're in a state of allowing, not doing. That's masculine. We need to balance. We need to stop doing, and ignoring all of our problems and trying to be like, whatever the fuck we're trying to be. We need to just allow. We need to just release. We need to just integrate and heal. And so again, with this Clematis card, I feel like this is like saying like, there might be some temptation to like grasp, an opportunity or to start something new or whatever. But you're really like, I feel like in week 3, we're just not quite in a place where we should be doing that. With the not the right time card and the devil and the hanged man, it's definitely giving like, just take a beat and circle back. And I don't feel like, circle back with the Ouroboros, I feel like you're not gonna miss out on anything either if you do allow yourself. Like, you're just waiting like fucking 5 to 7 days. Just like take a chill pill. Whatever this opportunity is, if it's meant for you, it will still be there for you once you get to the point where you can handle it. You don't want to take on this new opportunity and then it just slips right through your fingers because you are in a place where you can actually do what it needs to take on whatever this is that may be coming your way. And also, we, moving into the end of the month here, we have the Page of Cups. This is opportunity. This is emotionally fulfilling opportunity and the world. So again, like, don't sweat it if in week 3 something comes along and it sounds good and you're just like, oh, I really want to do that, but it'll be fine. Let me just try it. Don't do that. Just wait. Because week 4 is when you're going to really be ready to do that kind of thing. We also have opportunity here in week 4 in addition to the Page of Cups in the world. So again, like, you are not losing anything. Even if this seems like, a good opportunity here, that you're like, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. I guarantee you, if you wait, something better will come along. And if you don't wait, you're probably going to be pissed. You're probably going to miss out on the better thing because you already committed to this thing over here that was just like mostly what you wanted, but not quite everything. It didn't tick all the boxes. So I'm telling you, it's not the right time. Just chill. Okay. So let's get into week 4, see what the rest of the month holds for us, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I love this. I'm having a lot of fun. I am. So anyway, we have the World and Page of Cups. The World represents the ending of a karmic cycle, allowing yourself to, again, just let go of everything that you have been up until this point. Allow yourself to be reborn. The next card after the World, the cycle restarts. You're the Full again. You're taking risks on something new again. Full represents, the embodiment of all the pages. So again, you might be a beginner. You might not have all the information, all the tools, all the, experience that you'd need, but you have more than enough. You have faith. You have curiosity. There's a lot available to you when you move by faith. Like, if we were to only move by what we've already experienced and what we already know to be true, there would be no innovation, there would be no growth and evolution. We would all just be living the same life forever, if we didn't take risks. So I feel like, it's really important to release what you think release what you have been, allow yourself to be balanced and embody all that there is, all the elements, water, fire, earth, and air that are represented here by these animals in the 4 corners of the cards. You're allowing yourself to come home to yourself again, find wholeness within yourself. You're really trusting your intuition here with the Page of Cups. Even if this is something, again, that's new to you, if you've been in this place where you're really in your head and you just like go by logic and reason and, what and what you've experienced and da-da-da, and it's just like there's even a lot of water in these cards. Yes, this is like when you're in the soul's energy, you're really focused on what makes sense. But what makes sense isn't always what is necessarily best or okay. It's not, how do I say that in a way that is what I'm trying to say? What you think makes sense is not always what's best. Sometimes our vision is very clouded, again, by our experiences, our external world, something that we read or were told, and, this is the right way to do it. Just because it might have been the right way at that time or for that person does not mean it's the right way for you. So it's really important to trust your intuition and trust yourself and trust what your heart is saying. Of course, have that balance between the masculine and feminine, between being and doing. between logic and intuition. You know, don't just like go off intuition and literally go jump off a cliff thinking you can fly. Like, no, but have a little faith. Trust, beginning to trust yourself is the energy of the world here. We're finally closing out of these cycles. We've allowed ourselves to rest. We've allowed ourselves to recover. We've become brand new. We're finding a lot of peace and centeredness this month. You know, again, we're being reborn. We're entering a new karmic cycle after this one closes with the World card here. And again, with the Page of Cups, I mentioned this a couple of times, but you know, we have that cup with the fish popping out. There's opportunity coming your way. You're going to be able to handle it as well with the World card closing. I feel like, you know, whatever the situation is, you're not going to be like talking yourself out of it or questioning if you're enough or da-da-da. Like, you're really going to trust what other people see in you with the Page of Cups. Pages represent messengers as well. You know, and opportunities coming your way, people coming your way to make offers, that kind of thing. And so it's like you are going to begin to trust that, you know, when people see this in you, you're not going to be like, oh, well, I failed that one time, so I'll probably fail at this too. No, we're not doing that anymore. Like, I feel like this is the last time, March 2024, that we will be in that energy. We're finally setting ourselves free, as we talked about, you know, all over this reading. And so we have opportunity. Like, what more can that say, really? Like, there's opportunities coming your way. Opportunities to make more money, opportunity to feel more fulfilled, opportunities to live more in your truth, to shine in the light the way she's like shining and money is just raining down on her. I feel like people are going to really see you and want to offer you, you know, not just money, but their support. Like, I'm thinking earth energy. So like, you know, their time, their energy, connection that's going to last a long time, you know, career opportunities. It could come through in so many different ways, but there's opportunity for you to really grow and embody like this new version of you who's healed and who feels deserving of these things. We have Unfurl. This card, I recently got this in a private reading. It reminds me of the Eight of Swords, which is a card of being bound. Like, your eyes are bound, your arms are bound by illusion. You know, you're refusing to take a step forward into the infinite possibility that's available to you because you feel like you don't have a choice but to stay put, you know, like things will fall apart. But with Unfurl, this card in this context, especially now I'm just noticing this mandala. Let me cover her bosom there, but this mandala here is giving me the crown chakra. Not only is it kind of violet magenta, but the Sanskrit word for the crown chakra, which is escaping me right now, but it means 1,000 petals. And, you know, infinite connection, infinite possibility, that kind of thing. It's kind of giving me that. It's almost like you're removing the cloak that's over your eyes and you're really tapping into infinite possibility with all these wonderful cards here, the World, the Page of Cups, opportunity. You're really tapping into all that is available to you with this Unfurl cards. I feel like you're releasing yourself from clouded vision with her eyes being covered with Saturn's rings around her. You're not worried about what like people think about you anymore. If you had some sort of attachment to that, or you're really navigating your life around what you think other people think about you or what you think you need to be or do, like, you're really breaking free from that. Finally, I kind of want to Google Unfurl. Like, what does this word even mean? It's to make or become spread out from a rolled or folded state, especially in order to be open to the wind. So it's almost like to untangle yourself. I love it. To release from a furled state. Okay, duh. Yeah, like you're really spreading your wings. Like, you're not feeling bound anymore. You're spreading your light as well. Like, that's kind of giving this opportunity card too, where her hands are up and she's like, you know, shrouded in this light, being bathed in this light. It's almost giving like you're shining your light. You're breaking yourself free from any expectations that you've placed on yourself. And you're moving into really just embracing who you are and all that you have to offer. Even if you feel like a beginner with the page energy, even if you feel like you don't have a lot that you can give, you definitely do. Your experience, I've said this before, your experience qualifies you. Nobody else has lived your life. So the lessons that you've learned are valuable. Whether you've gone to this, any sort of accredited university to study, I don't know, whatever, even if it's just like a few sentences, like, I did this to fix my credit, or I did this to get a new job, or I did this to lose weight, or whatever your thing is. Those are just random examples, but those are valuable. You don't have to be an expert in order to have value. You don't have to know everything in order to be value. You don't have to have done everything in order to have value. You just have to live in your truth, and there's value in your truth and you being the most authentic version of yourself that you can possibly be. And so in the closing of this month, that's what the heck we're doing. We're letting ourselves fly free. We're accepting the opportunities that come to us. We're taking on the challenge. Okay, I don't know everything I need to know for this situation. I'm still a page, or I'm about to be the fool after this cycle closes. That's fine. You will learn along the way. Just as you have your whole life to get you to where you are right now. You will learn, the path will unfold in front of you as you take steps forward, but it's not going to happen if you don't take a step. Okay, so let's see what this last card is. We have Strawberry. Lovely. That's a really pretty card. I thought it was strawberries when I glanced at it earlier, but I couldn't quite tell. Okay, number 39. Let's see what it says. Strawberry. It feels like you've been chipping away at a situation forever, and no matter what you do, you just can't seem to make headway. Don't be fooled by the odd occasion on which it seems like something might be about to change if you just wait a little longer. There's a reason why things have been so reluctant to move. Put out your feelers and employ a change of tact. A new angle will benefit you here. I think that's interesting because we had the Hanged Man there, and it's talking about, looking at things from a new perspective, blah, blah, blah. But also because just now I was talking about, the path will unfold as long as you decide to start walking it. Otherwise, you're not going to see the change if you stay in place. Yeah, so with all that said, we have all this steadiness and all this waiting energy and all the not the right time energy, and then we're jumping into this opportunity in the world and the closing of cycles and the Page of Cups and all of that and setting yourself free here. So I think with this Strawberry card, this sentence is standing out. Don't be fooled by the odd occasion on which it seems like something might be about to change if you just wait a little longer. There's a reason why things have been reluctant to move. It's because you haven't moved. And so again, this is allowing these cycles to close. And then in week 4, after you have, taken a few days to integrate this and to heal and to rest and recover after closing out this painful cycle or whatever it is, taking action again, allowing yourself to be the fool. The fool is definitely an action card. He's literally standing on the edge of a cliff in the wilderness, about to jump off the edge. With this unfurl card, trusting your intuition, setting yourself free, shining your light, taking on new opportunities. Don't tell yourself you're not enough and then not try things, because that would be, repeating the old cycle. As I said earlier, if something comes to you, the path will open before you. You just have to take a chance on yourself. And I think that's what this Strawberry card is trying to say. Put your feelers out, or put out your feelers and employ a change of tact. A new angle will benefit you here. So yeah, I think the new angle is trusting yourself. Trusting yourself to take new things on, loving yourself, knowing that you are enough no matter where you are in your journey, even if you're doing something completely different than anything that you've done in your life, knowing that you have what it takes to take it on and that you can become an expert, but we all start somewhere. So don't let not being, the best in the industry, or knowing everything that there is, or not having a degree or whatever, not having a lot of experience, stop you from trying new things, because that will keep you in the same place disappointment and feeling like a failure and, all of those unpleasant things that none of us want to feel. You have to take a chance on yourself. You have to start somewhere, as we all do. And so in week 4, at the end of this month, when those opportunities present to you, that will be the right time to jump and move forward. I'm just realizing I don't have my wedding ring on. Dang. It's because I took a spiritual bath and I did like a whole, I usually wear like a sporty one, but I did a whole salt scrub and all that, and I forgot to put it back on, but whatever. I'll do that in a minute. But anyway, yeah, allowing yourself to try new things here at the end of the month, but moving up into that, leading up to the spring solstice, and even a little bit after it, which I think, let me look up the new moon this month or the full moon. Should be around that time too. Oh, it's on my birthday. Right. March 25th is the full moon. So leading up to that point, which is just about 1 week before the closing of the month, so the full moon will be like right at the tail end of this cycle here. You need to allow yourself to just do some healing, some releasing, some, finding yourself, trusting yourself, finding new healthy ways to cope with your emotions and your thoughts and that kind of stuff. And then after that full moon, I really think that's when things are going to really pop for you, for us, as a collective. So yeah, collective. This is your month. I have reading for the month of March 2024. I thank you guys all for being here. I really enjoy doing this, so definitely, look out for the next one. I will be doing it continually through, until I don't, on a month-to-month basis. So yeah, thank you for being here. If it resonated, take what does, leave what doesn't. This is a collective reading at the end of the day, but I do try to, get the overall energy for all of us. So this may present, in many, many different ways for each and every one of you. But with that, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time. You're always appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great month.